I've always been a big fan of wet flies. They take a little bit more time to tie, but they're just awesome for wild brownies. But they're also good for rainbows. One of the best that I've got for rainbows, for the waters that I fish anyway, is this little beauty. It's not got a lot of deer hair at all, but it's one of these top dropper flies. It just seems to work all the time for me. It could be the bat, it could be the rib, it could be the disturbance it's making, it could be just its overall profile. I'm really not sure, but it's a combination of several patterns rolled into one, but just works really, really well. A little mini muddler. So I start with a size 10 wet fly in the vise. Sorry, I didn't get my deer hair stuck. And the first thing I do is I get a bat, a Glow Bright number 3, and what I do is I keep a tag end. I'll show you why in a minute. So just at the rear, I'm going to come on and work down. And keep that tag end on the top. So for my bat, I've got 4 layers of that floss there. Okay, and now take my tag end, bring it over the top, secure in place. What that does is it stops the floss fraying or sliding down the hook. So just come in and snip that off there, and then just whip finish that. That's that part of the fly done. We're now in with our black tie and shred. This is just a Uni 8.0, and I'm going to start, give myself a little bit of space at the head. So I'm going to start right at the head, give myself a little bit of space there, coming down and coming over that bat there. So now we've got some silver holographic, really bright, this stuff. Pearl works well, but for some reason this silver, it's just got the edge on pearl for me. So just catch that in on my side of the hook shank, or your side, doesn't really matter. Catch it on the top, wind everybody up. And then I've got this dark olive dirty bug yarn. It's really, really good. Really, really good. Just park that out of the way. And it's like double stranded, and I'm going to use both strands. So I'm just going to take a short section, and because we want everything to be the same thickness, make sure you catch it in, give yourself some space, create the whole body like so, and then just park your thread, wind up, close touching turns. This stuff's great because once it's had a few trout teeth through it, it starts to pull out a little bit. And with your scissors, you can actually rough it up now if you wanted to, but it really does pull out. I'll show you what I mean. There you go, just a little bit. But once it's had a few trout teeth in it, it's actually just as good as dubbing. I really like this stuff. So that's that done. We've got to come up now, we've got to get with 3 wraps, maybe 4. 1, 2, 3, nice and even. One there, not quite right. 1, 2. Can't blooming see right. There you go. And then just come up and secure it. A little bit. Basically where a thorax would be on your nymph. Where's the end of that? A bit tighter. Snip that off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get a bit of deer hair. So this is just a a bit of roe deer here. Get my stacker ready. We just got to get that on top of the hook shank and give it a wee whittle. So about that much deer here, not much at all. Get rid of the stray fibres at the end, and then all we're going to do is we're going to marry the tips up in the hair stacker on the screen there. And you'll see the tips, just help them along. Any stray fibres that are hanging out, just get them out of the way. Now, I'm going to tidy all this up, so I'm not going to trim it just now, but I just want it, I'm looking for a length that's just got to come over the back there, so about there. Make sure the fibres don't move. There you go, there's a spare one. And then just line it up on top of the hook shank, and then 1, 2, and then you just got to tighten the thread round. Like so, let that spin round the hook shank. And a few wraps to the front. And then all I'm going to do is get rid of the stray stuff. You can cut it beforehand, but just get rid of the stray stuff. Just take your time. We've got to cover all this up with some fur, and that's what makes it such a good fly. Just make sure we get rid of all the tag ends there. Most of them will pull out. I see some there on my camera. I just kind of get, I just got to move the these guys can't see this, sadly. A couple more. And then just straighten the hook back up in the shank. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the thread to push everything back, come through the deer here. We've got to come through all this in a second anyway. So it's pull the deer hair around the fly. Do you know what these bits sticking up just now? We've got to tidy all that up. We tidy that up with some fur. So there you go. So it's cloaked the fly basically. That's what we're looking to do with the deer here. We now come in with a mixture of squirrel and rabbit. And we just dub this on. Quite a thick dub. But quite loose because we've got to pull it and scrag it through the deer hair. So if you start behind the eye of the hook and then work your way back to the deer hair, like so. And then with your thread, because you come all the way back with your thread goes through, going through the hare's ear to the eye. And then just tidy up the eye of the hook. Eye of the fly, sorry. Then with your whip finishing tool. And then your scissors. And then what we do with the Velcro is we come through and we pull the hair, the fur, through the deer hair. So you've actually got a pulling fly. That makes sense. Tiny bit of winding me up. So you kind of cloak that fly with your hair pulled through the deer hair. Just an awesome fly for when the fish are up and chasing. Big wind will see this fly work really well. but it works really good for rainbows as well as brownies. With that olive hue, that bug yarn stuff with that red and silver. Just a great combination. There you go. Give that a swim. You wouldn't be disappointed. Such a good fly. Top dropper fly for me. Probably its best position. You can go a little bit heavier in the deer hair if you wish. But there you go. Nice easy fly, and one that works really well for both rainbows and brown trout. Hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe to my channel.